Live from KSAT12, the news at noon starts right now.
President Joe Biden acknowledging the sacrifice of generations of U.S. troops who died fighting for their country. He marked Memorial Day with a wreath-laying ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery. First Lady Jill Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and her husband Douglas Emhoff also took part in today's memorial. Today is a day to remember the men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country. And here in Military City, USA, Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery holds an annual ceremony. Max Massey attended the special Memorial Day service and brings us the sights and sounds.
Passed away in 2017, and we come out here regularly, but today is a special day because it's Memorial Day, and we want to honor him and honor all the people that are buried out here.
Cody Knowlton and his wife Carol spend every Memorial Day here at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery.
We are out here today because my father-in-law, Marshall Peterson, is buried here.
And the Knowlton family, they're not alone.
250 is what we're hoping for, that will actually sit in these benches and enjoy the program.
Families visiting graves, talking to their past loved ones, filling the benches, soaking in this special day.
We are the Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery, and I cannot imagine any other place to be on Memorial Day. It is just the right thing to do.
Today should be important for all Americans, but especially those who lost their loved ones.
You cannot forget the veteran who gave the ultimate sacrifice while they were out there serving their country.
Gold Star family after Gold Star family, taking the time over the last couple of days to put down these American flags, lay flowers, really take a moment to explain how much freedom really costs.
Where would we be today if it wasn't for that soldier, Marine, Airman?
As for the Knowlton family, they know firsthand what today means for our nation.
We have to remember those that came before us that made what we have here possible. We're a free country, and we're free because of people like these men and women that are buried here.
Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
And today, Edgewood ISD held a Memorial Day ceremony at the Wall of Honor. Featured speaker, Major General William L. Thigpen, highlighting the true meaning of this holiday.
Memorial Day is about spending time together and reflecting on the stories of service members who lost their lives for the nation's cause and focus on the family members that they have left behind. You know, their stories are the stories of this nation, and they deserve to be heard, remembered, and honored on Memorial Day and beyond.
The ceremony also featured flags and flowers as a way to honor specific military members for their service. And on this Memorial Day, City Hall and most municipal offices are closed. Public safety and emergency services will remain in operation. We've got a complete list of what's open and closed today on our website. Just head over to KSAT.com and look for this story on the homepage. Outside with live cam, and you can see this is the memorial that reminds us the sacrifice that men and women throughout the years have paid so we could have the freedom to be here today. Mike?
Statue of Iwo Jima raising the flag there on Mount Suribachi from World War II. Beautiful sight. All right, it is a very nice day today. As you can see, we do have a couple of clouds out there, and temperature right now is at 80, and we're still waiting. The normal high is 90. We're not going to make it to that later on today. We're going to keep a lot of clouds around, so we'll gain a handful of degrees. Dew points at 66. That's not bad for this time of year, especially 84. That's all I'm going with for a high temperature. Again, counting on more of those clouds to kind of fill in. And the aquifer dropped down 0.6 of a foot in the past 24 hours. Allergens, mold is on the moderate side. So temperatures around the area right now, boy, for a Memorial Day, this is not bad at all. Upper 70s, low 80s around here. And the humidity, which, okay, this time of year we're going to have some humidity to deal with. Dew points are in the mid 60s, even a couple of 70s. So it's getting kind of humid out here in toward, say, Hondo, Rio Medina, Helotes, Port SA with those dew points up to 70. If you're outside, yeah, find as much shade as possible. You know, we've been talking about rain, and this is live radar right now. Couple little leftover sprinkles. We had that cluster of storms out there to the northwest earlier this morning. That's all but fizzled out, but there's still a little bit of a low kind of hanging around here. And that's going to fire up some showers, a couple of thunderstorms. And Storm Prediction Center has now indicated that our southern counties are under very, very small risk for one or two of those storms later on to become strong, potentially severe, with high winds and hail. So we'll have those spotty hit or miss showers and thunderstorms. Again, most of us aren't going to be seeing anything. So if you have some outdoor plans, do not cancel them. Just have a plan B, because they'll be, scattered about here and there. And of course, we were talking about those below average temperatures, mid 80s. That's it. Are we going to get back to normal, back up to 90 anytime this week? And what about any more rain chances? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. David?
All right, Michael, look forward to that. Thank you. New at noon, officers fired gunshots in the Northwest Side neighborhood after police say a homeless man pointed a gun at them. It all started with a call for a disturbance around 7:30 this morning on Saratoga Drive. That's near Vance Jackson and Loop 410. Neighbors reported seeing a man walking around and shouting. They got concerned. Police were called. When officers arrived, the suspect was inside a vacant home. He pointed a shotgun at officers through a window. 2 officers fired a few rounds. No one hit. The suspect was arrested. Police say he had been living in a house since Friday, and Chief William McManus described the house as a wreck and said there appears to be stolen property in that house as well. Also new this noon, a man trying to cross the street is dead after he was hit by several drivers. Police tell us that late last night, the person was seen walking across I-35 between Eisenhower and Walsham Road. That's on the northeast side. The victim was first hit by one driver, then several more. He was pronounced dead at the scene. New details this noon in a deadly wrong-way crash in West Bexar County. It happened this morning around 1 on Highway 90 West outside of Loop 1604. Investigators tell us the driver of a small car collided head-on with a pickup driver going the wrong way. Deputies say the truck was occupied by a 39-year-old man and 2 children. Only one man was inside the other car, and he died. The driver in the truck is now facing several charges, including intoxication, manslaughter, DWI, and injury to a child. The sound of gunshots woke a man up in the middle of the night. Then he noticed he was hit. Police say the man was asleep in his room when the shooting started. This was on the south side in the 100 block of West Hart Avenue. Officers say one of the bullets went right into the victim's room and struck him. He was taken to the hospital in fair condition. Officers say they don't have any information on the person that pulled the trigger or why. And investigators are trying to figure out what sparked a fire on the west side of town. It happened just after 10 on Bernice Drive, not far from near Culebra. We're told 3 people inside the home were able to get out safely. There was some damage, but it's not clear how much. And state lawmakers voted to impeach Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton on bribery and corruption allegations and temporarily threw him out of office. ABC's Elwin Lopez with Paxton's response and what comes next.
Embattled Attorney General Ken Paxton, a Republican, now suspended from his duties.
Have all members voted? There have been 121 ayes and 23 nays, 2 present non-voting, 3 absent. The resolution is adopted.
The GOP-controlled House overwhelmingly voted to impeach the Texas AG over a series of accusations of bribery and corruption. The wide array of allegations include Paxton directing his employees to violate state law, firing those who reported him, making false statements to the state securities board, and benefiting from a campaign donor's decision to employ his alleged mistress. The donor denies any wrongdoing.
The fact that I was prohibited from presenting evidence to defend myself reveals that this shameful process was curated from the start as an act of political retribution.
Paxton denying the accusations, taking to Twitter to slam the House's vote, calling it illegal, unethical, and profoundly unjust, adding that he looks forward to a quick resolution in the Texas Senate. That's where it's headed next, and his wife, 2-term state senator Angela Paxton, could be weighing in on his political fate. No word yet on whether she will recuse herself.
That was ABC's Elwin Lopez reporting. 2/3 of the Republican-dominated Senate would be needed to oust Paxton permanently. Anything less, and he will be acquitted and continue on in his attorney general project. So far, no date has been set for the trial. It was another big week for local high school softball and baseball teams. One famous dad right there for his team coming up. Although they have the day off today, road crews will be back at it again tomorrow. And that means some areas will be closed off as they work on sidewalks and pavements. Stephen Cavazos has a look at closures that you need to be aware of this week.
All right, well, the road work is expected to take us all the way up into the early days of June, so let's get you prepared before you have to hit the roads. Loop 345, otherwise known as Fredericksburg Road, we actually have pavement work that's going to take place later tonight, Monday, May 29th. Takes us all the way up to June 6th. That's going to be on a Tuesday. That work does start around 8 in the evening and should wrap at 5 o'clock in the morning. So watch out, you late night owls and early bird commuters. We'll see an alternating lane closure in both directions from I-10 to Loop 410. But the work, as I mentioned, is expected to continue right there along FM 1535, otherwise known as Northwest Military Highway. Sidewalk improvements. Now, this work does start pretty early on Tuesday, May 30th, should wrap on Friday, June 2nd. But again, that will begin around 7 in the morning, should wrap at 6 in the evening. So it's going to last a little while out there. Various lane closures in both directions from Loop 1604 to Huebner Road. We have one more for you. US 90 along the Medina County line will have cable barrier installation. Now, this work does also begin on Tuesday, May 30th and should wrap on Friday, June 2nd. It all starts around 9 in the morning and should end around 3 in the afternoon. We'll see a single eastbound lane closure along FM 471 to Metchler Lane. But go ahead and scan this QR code. It takes you directly to our KSAT traffic page. I've updated the list of current closures on our website. And again, we have a lot of that taking place throughout the month of May, but believe it or not, all the way up into the early days of June. So plan your commute ahead of time.
Outside with live cam. So, Mike, if I got this right, you take a moment, you remember why you have the day off, you crank up the grills, throw on some hot dogs, hamburgers, don't forget the mustard and ketchup, and then you keep looking up every now and then just to make sure something's not happening.
Yep, and if you don't want to look up, you just take this thing and get the KSAT weather app and just look at your phone there, so you can, continue. You can watch the grill, check out, and just keep doing this the whole time. A little bit pink on the inside. Oh wait, never mind. We'll talk about food here. We'll talk about the weather. Got some a couple of clouds out there. We're going to take a closer look at this picture. Love this one out there at Fort Sam National Cemetery over the weekend.
All right, so we keep that phone with us. We keep the KSAT weather app with us and ready to go and just enjoy the afternoon and every now and then glance down.
Yes, indeed. Nothing to look at right now except these beautiful flowers back here. We will have a couple of showers, a couple of thunderstorms. Oh, I wish that looked like my backyard. It does not, unfortunately. Yes, and I love the flag right there in the background. So beautiful picture on Memorial Day. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. If you do happen to get any showers or storms, make sure you safely take some pictures later on today and do send them in so we can help tell our story. Right now I got sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds hanging around out here, and again, really nothing. I mean, we've had a couple of showers off around Gonzales, LaGrange earlier this morning, and there was that one little cluster out there in the hill country just to the west, northwest of Junction earlier this morning, and actually a lot of lightning strikes were being picked up with that, and that sort of fizzled on out. However, we will have more as the day rolls on, but very, very scattered out there. So keep an eye on the burgers. That's the priority as opposed to maybe the app, at least in the first portion of the afternoon. 85 yesterday, 5 degrees below normal, only one 90-degree reading on that map. And look at this one. What don't you see? No 90s on that map. Now, you may touch 90 in your backyard, especially over there toward the Rio Grande. But, yeah, it's going to be way, way below normal by a good 6 degrees here in town. 81 for a high temperature today in Helotes, 82 in Leon Springs. Nothing to complain about there. So here's satellite picture going back 12 hours. There's that little cluster of storms that I was talking about and a few showers here. Now, as that's looping, notice how there's that little bit of a kind of, see that spin right there around Rock Springs. There is an upper level low, and you can make this out even a little bit better on the water vapor imagery. You see this right in there, which is moving across the area. So that's going to be sort of the triggering mechanism for some of these showers and thunderstorms to develop. But obviously, there's nothing out there right now as the afternoon continues to heat up. We'll see a few more popping up here and there. So computer models all morning long have been a little well, not a little shy on doing this. I don't know what the best way to describe it, but nothing overly bullish on any of these showers and thunderstorms popping up. As a matter of fact, this one, even into this afternoon, has one or two trying to develop. A couple of more by mid-afternoon, and as we approach dinner time, a few more up in portions of the hill country, perhaps even in the northern portion of Bexar County. And then what's interesting is then it gets a lot going down here right around Atascosa County into the early evening hours, and those will then, once the sun goes down, tend to die down. However, as those get going now, Storm Prediction Center has that area right there that is almost kind of a triangle, with the tip of the triangle being there in southern Wilson County, almost right on the very tip of Bexar County and most of Atascosa County under that threat for a couple of isolated strong storms. High winds would be the biggest threats. You can always see a little bit of hail with some of those as well, but that's something that we're going to have to keep an eye on as we approach late afternoon into the evening hours, dinner time into evening hours. So once again, we're going to make it up through the 80s today. There's that chance for some of those showers and thunderstorms to develop, but again, very few and far between. Outdoor plans, don't change them. Just have a plan B, and then we will continue with some of those rain chances. They'll begin to dwindle, or continue to dwindle, I should say, as time rolls on. Then we go into the next 7 days. Tomorrow back into the upper 80s and 89 by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Nothing normal on that map, on that graphic as far as temperatures. Normal high right now is 90, still at 89 degrees.
We could start June without hitting 90.
Well, we have hit 90 3 times already. Back last month, there was a couple of days we did. Yeah, we got up in the low 90s a couple of times. But yeah, June, 89, I'll take it.
Like that. Thanks, Mike. Local teams dominating in baseball and softball playoffs. And cars crashing, tires flying. Somewhat typical day at the Brickyard. Highlights coming up.
White will inbound. It's off to Smart for the 7th game. No! Command tipped in, but the buzzer sounded. The light was on. It'll be reviewed.
Well, it didn't take long to review that. Just a few days ago, it seemed like we knew who was going to play the Nuggets in the NBA Finals because Miami was up 3-0 on the Celtics. That's why they play the game. Former Spur Derek White forced a winner. Take all Game 7 with that putback Saturday, Game 6. Right there to win the game with 0.1 left on the clock when the ball left his hand. You don't think Miami crowd players were stunned? Yeah, everybody's shocked in there except the Celtics. So now there is a Game 7 tonight, 7:30 in Boston. All right, the winner of the East will take on the Denver Nuggets in Denver's first trip to the NBA Finals. You can see all the action live right here on KSAT12. Game 1 of the NBA Finals is going to be Thursday, 7:30 in Denver. While most draft picks are enjoying time off from games and doing some training before the summer's NBA draft, Victor Wembanyama is busy on some bigger goals across the pond. His Metropolitans 92 defeated Tony Parker's Asvel. It was Game 1 of the semifinals of the French LNB Pro League. Wemby scored 19, led all players, had 14 rebounds. The best in 5 series. Game 2 coming up tomorrow afternoon, San Antonio time at 1:30, and leads us to tonight's instant replay poll question, which we'll skip that. That was last night's poll question. 5 baseball teams from the greater San Antonio area are still alive heading into this weekend's regional final round, and that includes Bernie Champion. After dropping Game 1 of Corpus Christi Ray on Thursday, the Chargers swept the next 2 to get into the 5th round. If you've been around a champion game this year, you've likely seen that guy right there, or heard his voice, wrestling legend Bill Goldberg. His son, Gage Goldberg, is the catcher. Gage played a huge part in the Champions game, 3-win with a clutch RBI single there. You saw that in the bottom of the 4th. After the game, he shared moments with his dad on the field, showing him the opposing team selling T-shirts. Nothing like a famous dad there to support your team.
It's awesome, and this shirt was made by Corpus Christi Ray. They thought they were going to beat us. You see us right there. It's just awesome to be here. We haven't gone this far, and I think we've gone this far one time in school history. So let's make history, baby.
Champion will face Leander Rouse in the Class 5A regional final. The Johnson Jaguars and Bernie Greyhounds are also joining the Chargers in the regional final this year. You can catch highlights from their series right now on the BGC page at KSAT12, while the New Braunfels Canyon softball team is returning to state for the first time since 2019. The Cougarettes swept Smithson Valley in their Class 5A regional final 10-0 and 4-1 in both games. Pitcher Haley Carmona was spectacular, struck out 13 in the clinching game.
It's so fun catching her. She gets better and better as the game. She gets more and more locked in. She gets pumped. Her pitches start moving more. It's unhittable.
Well, I'll tell everyone that she's a competitor. She has a very strong desire to win, and she is going to get in there and fight and compete every pitch. And I think when they scored the run on her, I think it kind of really settled in on her, and I think she kind of got fired up at that point and started to compete even harder, and she did an awesome job from there on out.
A little excited, weren't they? Canyon will face Colleyville Heritage in the UIL Class 5A state semifinals Friday at 1 o'clock in Austin. If they advance, the Class 5A title game is Saturday at 1 o'clock, and Hannahs will open defense of their state title on Tuesday at 10 a.m. against Natchez. The 1A title game is Wednesday at 4 p.m. All right, as you head outdoors this summer, don't forget to protect your skin from the sun. Sunscreen is a great tool to do that if you apply it the right way. Sunscreen mistakes you may be making and how to fix them coming up the next half hour. The Department of Veterans Affairs wants to raise awareness about a final honor for the nation's veterans. They say burial benefits frequently go unused by veterans. CNN's Karen Kafer reports that they want those who served and their families to know the extent of their options.
After early morning rain, the skies have been clearing for the Memorial Day commemorations here in Arlington and around the nation's capital and the nation. This is a day to remember those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. And for veterans reflecting on their own service, the Department of Veterans Affairs wants them to know that they are entitled to a final salute. Amid the quiet and the solemnity, Arlington National Cemetery is expanding, adding 70 acres to the south of these hallowed grounds, an estimated 80,000 burial sites by late 2027.
The current physical expansion that we're doing right now was the last available land contiguous, in other words, connecting to Arlington National Cemetery. And even to do that expansion, we've had to reconstruct existing roads. About 30 miles to the south of Arlington is Quantico National Cemetery. It's one of 155 national cemeteries across the nation maintained by the Department of Veterans Affairs National Cemetery Administration. The network also includes 121 state-run cemeteries funded by the VA, and they say about 94% of U.S. veterans have one of these burial sites within 75 miles of home. Still, utilization of VA burial benefits, which include no-cost interment as well as similar benefits for spouses and dependents, is low compared to other VA benefits like health care and education. Last year, just 22%.
That's a number we want to see increase. We want to make sure veterans know that this is an option across America. So
they're working to improve rural access to burial sites and in dense urban areas build above-ground columbariums with a smaller footprint, like this one at Los Angeles National Cemetery. Another will soon open in Queens, New York. All of it a way to say thank you one final time.
The way we look at it is this is the nation's last chance to thank that veteran for their service.
Veterans and their families who are interested in more information can visit the National Cemetery Administration website through va.gov. There is information there on eligibility and also how to get paperwork started. A number of these cemeteries across the country will hold their own Memorial Day commemorations today. In Arlington, Virginia, I'm Karen Kafer.
San Antonio International Airport has a new Fallen Hero cart. Alaska Airlines employees helped unveil it last week. This is the 14th cart crafted by the airline's maintenance team to honor all fallen military members and the first to be delivered this year. It is used to transport the remains of all of the deceased with respect and honor to and from the aircraft. The customized cart's exterior features plaques representing the Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force. Outside with live cam turned out to be a really nice day, as long as that rain will hold off till we get all our festivities taken care of for the day and then bring it on at night.
Pretty much that's the way it's looking like things are going to be shaping up. Yeah, there's nothing showing up on radar as of right now. As you can see, we do have some sunshine thrown in with the clouds around here, and temperatures 80 right now at 12:32 on a Memorial Day. Wow, that's nice. 79 there at Bernie Stage. Same thing at Kerrville, still 77 in Lost Maples. Gotta love these numbers. And yeah, you know, you expect it this time of year. There is some humidity out there. Dew points well above 60, and we're getting into the low 70s. So it's pretty muggy. Canyon Lake, Helotes, Rio Medina. But with these temperatures lower, that's, you know, again, not bad at all. Okay, I love showing this. I've been showing this for the past couple of months. It's the Climate Prediction Center long range forecast. 6 to 10 days out, and this doesn't mean we're going to see rain, but kind of showing the odds are leaning that direction, better than 50-50 to get more rain than what would be the average this time of year. Also, temperatures still staying at or odds slightly below what would be normal. Now, normal today is 90, so yeah, I mean, still seasonably hot, but nothing way up there. And then even going further into the future, toward the middle of June, still the same situation. Better than 50-50 odds of seeing a little more than normal precipitation and some temperatures that's nothing spiking out here. So again, today forecast spotty, hit or miss, showers, storms possible. They're going to be very few and far between. Don't cancel those outdoor plans like Dave was just talking about there, but have a plan B just in case. And below average temperatures only in the mid 80s. Going to show you radar, going to show you some computer models, and also part of the area has a small threat for maybe a strong to potentially severe storm. We'll talk about that and take a look ahead at the shortened work week and what's in store for the 1st of June. David?
Thank you, Mike. President Joe Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy able to strike a deal over the debt ceiling this past weekend. The bill would suspend the debt ceiling until January 1st, 2025, and put new restraints on government spending over the next 2 years. Among the compromises, most federal spending would stay flat next year, while defense spending would increase. $20 billion in new funds for the IRS would be cut over 2 years. Unused COVID relief money goes back. Social Security, Medicaid, and veterans benefits would stay intact.
How confident are you today that this bill will pass on Wednesday?
You're going to have Republicans and Democrats be able to move this to the president. The president agreed with this bill as well.
The next step in raising the debt ceiling happens tomorrow, and that's when the House Rules Committee will consider the deal reached over the weekend. This will be a big test for the deal because some of the Republicans on the Rules Committee have been critical of the agreement. If those Republicans vote against the deal, it would fail unless some Democrats vote to advance the bill out of committee for a full House vote. Now to the latest on the partial collapse of an apartment building in Davenport, Iowa. Authorities say multiple people have been rescued. ABC's Rena Roy reports that one person is recovering in the hospital.
Building's partially collapsing. At least 8 people rescued from this apartment building after it partially collapsed Sunday in Davenport, Iowa. One person extracted last night, now recovering at the hospital.
Our rescue operations have continued. We were able to locate one victim, and we are able to extract them from the building. No known individuals are trapped in that facility.
The rear part of the downtown apartment tower, which was undergoing repairs after complaints from residents, suddenly caving in.
The building just collapsed.
The first calls for help coming in just before 5 p.m.
Our crews arrived on scene and found a 6-story apartment complex where the portion of the rear building had actually collapsed. Crews also found a large natural gas leak and water leaking from all floors of the structure.
I'm hoping and praying that the screams that I heard when the building came down was not people inside of it.
Officials say no one appears to be missing in the building, which has more than 80 units, a mix of commercial and residential. Crews trying to navigate the collapsed structure.
At this time, the building is structurally unsound, is posing a risk to responders. We are actively working for the best course of action for the building. We've been doing everything we can to move as fast and as efficiently as we can throughout the process.
Officials say the cause of the collapse is under investigation, but questions are mounting after reports of bricks falling from the building during repairs earlier this week. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
It is the unofficial start of summer, and as you spend more time outside, you're likely going to load up on some sunscreen. How to make sure you're applying it correctly so you get the most benefit coming up. Plus, people with type 2 diabetes know that staying active can help keep blood sugar in check. But did you know that when you work out, it could just be as important? Best time of day to hit the gym coming up.